Hi, welcome to Daydreams of Quilts on YouTube. Today we are sewing a wool felt pincushion that's like a California roll sushi. So here it is right here. We're gonna be doing this little sushi roll today. This is a free pattern that goes out to my subscribers, my newsletter subscribers, and is also available in the files section of my Facebook group. So if you're a subscriber or you're in my Facebook group, you already have access to that pattern for free. I will put links to both of those, will be linked in the description below. I will add this to my Etsy shop if you would prefer to buy the pattern. So let's get our supplies together and start crafting. Okay, so the first thing to do is download the pattern from the files section of the Daydreams of Quilts Facebook group, or sign up for the Makers newsletter and it will be in the first welcome message that you get. And then gather your supplies of felt, thread that matches your felts, and a needle and scissors. We'll get started making. Okay, so we're going to round off the corners of our white felt to make it more like sushi roll shaped. And I'll probably do the same for, I'll do the other one at the same time so they both wind up being about the same size. And then we'll do the same thing with our peach piece of felt, except we only want this one to be about 1 inch, so we can cut off a little bit more from our scrap and just get it looking how we want it. Okay. I think I'll do the same with the other one to get them about the same size. And this is wool felt that I'm using. It's got a mixture of wool, and I think there's possibly some polyester in it. I got it from Benzie Designs on Etsy, so I'll try to link to them. I will link to them in the comments or in the description down below. Now these little green ones are, I think they need to be a little bit smaller, like about 1/2 inch or a little bit more. Let's see, let's try a little layout here and see how they will look. Yeah, I think we need a little bit more rice on our sushi roll, so I'm gonna just cut these a little smaller. And then cut the other one the same size. So these are like the cucumber in the sushi roll, and then this is the crab meat, and then the white is the rice. So there, I think that's pretty good. So then we just want to do the other end the same, but I will cut that out later. So now you're going to want to take your needle with a thread that matches as close as you can to your crab meat, your peach, and then just, I'm using a binding needle. Just come in from the back and let your knot, whoop, see, my knot just came through. You can't pull too hard with felt or your stitch will just come right through. I think I'll just hold that with my finger. And so just take these little stitches and then travel along the back of your work. Maybe a little bit closer together there. And just hand stitch this down, this peach. And then we'll do the same with the green with a matching green thread. So these are just little stitches. I'm just traveling along the back. Just enough to hold it and keep it from coming off. Okay, so I'll go all the way around and we'll come back. Get the peach done, then you just repeat with the green fabric. Now I'm getting a bit close to the edge here. I think I should have cut my pieces a little bit smaller. If you're wanting to machine sew your black felt that goes all the way around, you want to leave a little bit more room than I am here, because you're going to need to sew with about 1/8 of an inch seam. I think I'm going to wind up hand sewing my black to my white. So I'll go through the hand sewing. The machine sewing's a little bit quicker, but it's actually probably harder to machine sew this small of an item, so we're probably better to hand stitch it anyway. So anyway, you just go all the way around with these little stitches. And you don't really need pins because the felt sticks to itself. And then once you get this one done, you just repeat for the other end of the sushi roll. So I'll keep sewing and I'll be back here in a moment. So I'm almost finished here. I will repeat this process for the other end of the sushi roll, and then we can put our black seaweed wrap to hold it all together and stuff it, and it'll be done. Just in case you're completely new to hand sewing and you have not ever ended your thread, this is how I knot off. I travel underneath a stitch, but not through the front, and pull, but I leave a loop like this, and I just put my needle through the loop and then pull it tight. And then I usually just go under one more time just to be on the safe side. And then I just cut my thread and I'm ready to start the next part. Now at this point, if you're machine sewing, then you would want to do this after so you don't break your needle on the beads. But if you want to, and if you're hand sewing, you can do this now before you put it all together, because it would actually be easier to do this now. If you want to make this look more like rice, you could use glass seed beads like these ones. And then for sesame seeds, like they sometimes have them pressed onto the sushi, you could use seed beads like these, but I don't have black ones, but you'd want to use black ones. These ones are blue. And then for those, you won't be able to use the binding needle because it's too thick to go through the beads. So you'd need some very thin little embroidery needles. But I'm going to skip that part and just move right to putting this together. Okay, so I'm going to hand sew mine since I didn't really leave myself very much room up here. If you're machine sewing, you want to sew with about 1/8 of an inch, and I have almost all I have is 1/8 of an inch there. So I'm going to hand sew mine, but you're going to just pin your black felt, or clip in my case, I like clipping, all the way around, and it's basically right sides together, but there isn't really a right side with the felt. But I'm going to leave a 1/4 inch turned under at the end for where it's going to join up. And this piece of felt is cut a bit long so that we have some wiggle room to get it all the way around and not have to worry. So I'm going to go all the way around and clip it together, and then I will start whip stitching it. Okay, so I have it clipped all the way around, and we're just concerned about the edge that we're working with. It doesn't matter if this is all ripply over here. We're just going to worry about where we're actually working. I'm going to go past where I reached the other end by about 1/4 inch and just trim my felt. And then I'm just going to fold it back so that these two edges are butting up against each other right here. And then that's going to be our opening that we're going to put our stuffing through. But we have both the edges turned back so that we will have a nice clean edge to stitch together when we're finished. So now I'm going to just start whip stitching with some black thread. And if you're machine sewing, then you can just put this with the white part against the bed of your machine and slowly work your way around with 1/8 of an inch, just a normal straight stitch seam, because the felt won't fray, so you don't have to worry about about having a large seam allowance, but you do want to make sure you catch both layers of fabric. So I'll go all the way around whip stitching this and then do the same on the other side. So here is one end all whip stitched. So I'm now going to take the next end and try to line it up as best I can with how the sushi is on this side. But if it's not perfect, it doesn't matter because you can't see both ends at the same time. So I'm going to go around and pin all of that, but I'm leaving this edge where we have these two folded back edges. I'm leaving that open. I'm just going to whip stitch up here and leaving the rest of this seam open because that's how we're going to turn and stuff our pincushion. Now we have it all whip stitched, and we have to very carefully turn it right side out without ripping our stitches. I guess if we rip them, we can restitch them, but there we go. Didn't rip any. Okay, and then our little turned edges will be going towards the inside, and we'll just start stuffing with some polyfill. We'll have to probably use some sticky tape to get it off of our black felt afterwards, but just keep stuffing it in. And then we will close our opening with a ladder stitch, which I'll show you in just a minute. So I think it comes out a little cleaner looking when you machine sew it, but it is hard to machine sew, and hand sewing works too. So I'm just going to get a little bit more stuffing to really fill that up, and then I'll be ready to close it up. Okay, so ladder stitching, you come in to your black felt, you come across to the other side, and you stitch a small stitch, and then you go back to the other side, and then back across this way. So you're taking a little stitch inside your little folded edges there, and you're going back and forth so it looks like ladder rungs, which is why it's called a ladder stitch. So you can see my little ladder rungs there. And then when you get to the end, you just pull, and you can actually do this part way too, but when you pull, it closes up and you can't really see your stitches or even the seam very much. So I'll keep going to the end and show you what it looks like when it's finished. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull tight on my thread, and there's a little bit of stuffing coming through, but I'm just gonna trim that off with scissors after. And then I'm just gonna knot off my end here. And then our little sushi pincushion is finished. I hope you enjoyed making that sushi pincushion with me. Tomorrow's video is going to be the needle book, this one here. So make sure to grab your pattern from either the Facebook group or the newsletter. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos.